Hello everyone, this is the Gaboys Show. Once more, you are welcome and thank you for subscribing. You who are new, sit down, let's talk. It is a channel full of life, full of thoughts, full of knowledge, full of messages. I can't wait to share a lot with you. Thank you so much for subscribing. Have you ever sat down and you thought of motivation and discipline? Like, has it ever come across your mind and you are like, okay, of these two, which one do I require? Which one do I need? Which one is important? Which one is less important? Has it ever crossed your mind? See the difference. Motivation is good, but it may not be a requirement in our life. But discipline is a requirement. Why do I say this? Motivation is a driving force that causes people to do something to achieve a certain goal or a need. It is the desire to do something after being pushed by either something or someone. Take an example at our workplaces. Usually, when you perform well, you are motivated by being given a reward. In church, your prayer life, you could be have a spiritual figure who motivates you, who keeps you going. You could be maybe something someday you faced a challenge and you prayed and you came out of that problem, and that motivated you to keep praying. Maybe you have a family that you're taking care of and you are motivated to keep going to support that family. So many things that keep motivating us. But have you ever sat down and thought that if this was not there, would I be doing this? If I didn't go through this challenge, would I be doing this? If I didn't meet this person, would I be doing this? If I was not rewarded, would I be doing this? That is a question that all of us need to ask. When you are motivated, it is an encouragement, yes. It encourages you to keep going. It encourages you to work harder, to face that situation even with strength and more courage. But what if that situation, what if that motivating factor wasn't there? What if it was not, you didn't come across it in your life? What would you do? What if you didn't face that challenge? What if you didn't meet this spiritual aspect in your life? What would you do? Would you be doing what you're doing? Would you still keep going to that workplace? Would you still keep praying? Would you still keep seeking God? Would you still keep the energy you have in doing that thing? That is where motivation becomes a non-requirement in our lives. Because in whatever we do, we need to keep doing it. And motivation, it is not a guarantee that it is going to be there forever. It is not a guarantee that you will keep getting it. It is not a guarantee that it is something permanent in your life. At workplace, you can wake up one day and they cut off the rewards they give you to motivate you. In the prayer sector, you can wake up one day and that figure that you're seeing that keeps motivating you is no more. Will you stop? Now, this is where discipline becomes a requirement. Discipline is when you negotiate with yourself. You negotiate with your inner person to keep doing something even when it is difficult. To keep doing something even when you're finding challenges. To keep going even if you're finding hardship. When you develop discipline in doing something, you will not fear that if I lose this? Because you developed that discipline in you, you are triggered each day. You are triggered each day to wake up. You are triggered each day to wake up. But when you're motivated, you can even create an excuse, by the way. When the other person doesn't pray, you are like, okay, my motivator did not pray, so it is okay for me not to pray today. But when you develop discipline, you feel the urge to do it even when you are not able, even when the body is not in position to do it. But in you, in the inner spirit, in your inner soul, you feel the urge that I should keep doing this. You feel the urge that I should keep waking up to pray. Say you have made a pattern that every day at this time, I am going to be waking up to pray. I am going to be having some time with God at this particular time for a certain day. Even if the body is not willing, your spirit will keep activating you because you developed that discipline. You drew that pattern in your life. Discipline helps us to keep working, to keep doing that thing, even if it is difficult. There are certain times when you are down. We are all human beings. You are totally down and you do not know what is next. You can't tell what you should do next. But because you have the discipline, it will activate you. It will lift your spirit high. It will keep you going. It will keep you dedicated. It will give you the energy that you require to do that thing. Let's take an example. You are working. You are an accountant. You are a manager. And you want to master your profession in that line. When you are motivated by someone, you will not take it so serious because you will keep following the footsteps of that person. And when they err, you err. When they don't do it right, you don't do it right. But when you develop, when they are weak, you are also weak. But when you develop discipline, even when you wake up when the day is a bad day, when you remember that my goal is to master my profession, your spirit activates itself. And you keep pushing. And you keep pushing. And you keep going. And you keep going. In most cases, people who develop discipline in doing certain things always succeed at the end of the day. It is very hard to hear testimonies of people who practiced discipline in their careers, in their way of life, in anything that they were doing. It is very hard to hear that they failed. It is also a rare case that you will hear that they failed. Take a look at those successful men around us. They had to practice discipline in a certain area of life for them to thrive. They had to practice discipline in a certain area of life that even when the person who was doing the same thing with them failed, they did not fail. Even when the people they looked up to failed, they did not fail because they developed discipline. They practiced discipline in their way of life. So I am encouraging us today that however much motivation is something good that we need in our life to keep us awake, but we require discipline. Discipline is a serious requirement in us doing whatever we are doing. I don't know your perception about it, but I want to tell you that you need discipline in whatever you are doing. Thank you for watching me. You are welcome to subscribe to Dega Boys for more episodes. for more information. Let's educate one another. See you. Bye-bye.